Welcome back to another one of my episodes. Today I'll be talking about responsive design. The first time I heard about responsive design was in a book that I read by Marcotte. I was literally blown away. Wait, I can make one intelligent design that will just adjust depending on how I set rules and will just work on all width sizes, whether it's mobile, desktop, or tablet, or also all sizes for desktop. This is crazy. And according to this book, which was when I realized this is all possible. Responsive design uses something called media queries in HTML and CSS. I know, it's code, but don't worry, it's not that complicated, I promise. It's actually fairly simple. It's literally some rules that you set depending on the width point, and as soon as you get between those various width points or height points, things will just adjust depending on how you set them. But why am I talking about it? Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let's go to my computer. So my first example, I'm actually going to show Apple's website here. So I'm right here on Apple's website, and I'm specifically going to go to the iPad section of the website and notice this image and this typography and this iconography, these text on top and the navigation. Notice as I'm changing the window, those things are actually changing and getting smaller and depending on what width I am using. And that's using media queries, and this is done responsively. So you can see depending on the width of the window, as the window is getting smaller, the elements are getting smaller as well. So now you're looking at the mobile version of this website. This width point will work for mobile version, and images are getting smaller, typography is getting smaller, and it's really good to look at. I love looking at websites and seeing how things kind of readjust. I suggest actually doing that as well, looking at websites and seeing how things kind of adjust. So you can see how other people are doing responsive designs. So that's kind of my first example. Now I'm going to jump into my second example, the world famous GaryZit.com. It's my portfolio website actually. And you can see I have things moving as well. So this is my desktop version. Notice how the iconography gets smaller at the bottom. See, these images are getting smaller. My text is moving. See, before I had this image in the center, and now I have. And then as soon as it gets to the tablet version, the image goes away and I only have the video. So you can see that things are adjusting. That's my mobile version, so that's when they're on a vertical mobile device. And then when you're scrolling down, you could see that all the elements are getting smaller as they need to get smaller, so it works for the proper device that the user's on. So that's my second example. The next example that I'm going to jump into is Figma, one of my favorite tools currently to design. You could see that they have different elements as well, and you could see as I'm moving things around, these elements are relining up and going in the proper places for that specific width points. This is done very, very well, and you could also see how the typography is getting smaller as it needs to get smaller. So there's never really a scroll bar from left to right. That's really cool. Now I'm going to jump into my last example, which is the dribble. Also, you could see that there's some in the large desktop version. You could see 3 images at a time, and then when you get to the tablet version, you see 2 images, and on the mobile version, you see 1 item at a time, kind of 1 row at a time. So that's kind of how they handle it. I just wanted to kind of show you a couple of these examples, basically just so you can get an idea of how some websites are handling these kind of things. It's something very important to think about as you think about your designs. And as I mentioned, it's a really good idea to kind of look at other people's websites and literally making the window smaller and bigger and seeing how the design adjusts. I strongly recommend doing that, especially when you see websites that you like, and especially when you see websites that interest you visually. Let me know if you have any questions below. I'll leave all the links in the description. And if you're liking my videos, feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.